right, it's a good afternoon. 4 minutes past 1 o'clock, and what better time for us to re-scrutinize, peruse the list and the portfolios assigned to the minister. The list of ministers earlier released, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's know what Nigerians think about the list or the portfolios assigned to these individuals who will be holding sway for God knows how. I mean, I know Tinubu might come with his own style and, make the difference, unlike what we saw in the last administration where ministers held on for 8 straight years. Some of them held on for 8 straight years. If you remember, some of them, both during the first and second administration, held ministerial positions without any questioning, without any anything that would rattle them whatsoever. So I think they carried on like mini emperors because they felt that their seats were secured, not knowing that time was soon elapse and they would go. But I mean, if you take your mind back to the Obasanjo administration, and how there was a reshuffling, some were thrown out, for lack of performance. Some were told, well, you've done well. Thank you so much. Let's give another hand a try. Not because you've not done well, but you served in your capacity and were impressed. So let's give another person to continue from there. And that sort of kept them up on their toes, working. So what's going to be the style of this particular administration? I do not know. But hopefully we do not want to see an overstretch of people staying on and on so they get so used to the office and become hibernated, in nature, or they get to that point where they hibernate in terms of carrying out their duty. Let's see ministers who will be giving key performance index and some sort of evaluation over time. And then also would need to see changing of hands. Maybe because you do not perform so well in this ministry, let's take you back to another, or let's take you out and bring in another person, or let's just totally change the whole crop of ministers and bring in new ones. Ministerial positions, like many Nigerians over the years have noted that there seem to be some sort of compensation. But can you even do without compensating your political, allies? That's how politics is played. But then it also doesn't take away the fact that there are people who have specialties and skills, even as politicians. Some of them were, first of all, professionals, technocrats, experts in their fields before they delved into politics. So let's be mindful. I know that there isn't a no love lost kind of situation between the Nigerian populace and the politicians, but in all sense of honesty, sometimes it behoves that we take a step out of the comfort zone of just criticizing and take a look deeper into the profiles and bios of some of these people who have been appointed. Of course, there are people who have questionable characters and probably have no business doing or having their names on that list. But then this is where we are. Let's just analyze or take a look once again at the offices assigned to these individuals who will be serving as ministers of different ministries and ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And let's know what your take is, because you definitely have an opinion and your say on the suitability or otherwise of some of them with regards to the ministries that they've been assigned to take charge of. While some of you are pleased, some of you may also show displeasure. Some may want to have their questions raised out. It's an opportunity for us to do that this afternoon, okay? So let's get started, shall we? I know that today we're supposed to have our debate about removal of subsidy or not, but I just changed it last minute. And I have my reasons. I've not forgotten. Would bring back our great debate. And I'm really hoping that from next week, because I noticed that our phone lines have now have some sort of stability, and we're able to take more than one, carry on with the conference call. So we'll still have our debate on the subsidy removal, whether it should continue as a regime or we should revert it back as is being propagated by many other Nigerians and saying that, well, let's take it back. Let's sit down at the table. Let's carve a path and see what plans and timelines we can place, especially on fixed refineries, everything in place so that once it is removed, we have to grapple with so much challenges as we're right now in the country. Kenya, by the way, removed that or reverse that. So it's possible to reverse it, right? Okay, so let's not deviate though. Let's come back to the full portfolios of the 45 ministers that have just been released. Okay, so President Bola Ahmed Tinubu released the portfolios of the 45 confirmed ministerial nominees. The list released in a statement available included former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, who, by the way, is going to be the FCT minister. Yesterday, I was watching status and, social media with regard to that. And a lot of people seem pleased and very optimistic, maybe because of what Wike has done in Rivers State. So many are optimistic that the minister or the new minister of the FCT will replicate that. I mean, seeing that the FCT is the federal capital city that everyone should look at and admire and want to come here. But right now, with the current state of things, honestly, it just doesn't smirk of even a state capital. Talk more of the capital of a nation like Nigeria. I mean, the disorganization, the rate, lack of street light, every minute exactly. It's practically absent. So people are optimistic, especially for week. I'm going to speak about, and that's stemmed from the fact the man has antecedents. I mean, although probably be unveiled upon his last day in the governor, the people replicated in the capital territory. So former Rivers State Governor Nyesom as FC Minister, first came as Aviation Ministry. Now that's one place that some people have made comments. I've listened to them asking, how does that connect? Mr. Tilly, you talked about attorney of the federal case. Kemo is one person who has a lawyer and has a thriving practice. He's the Ghanaian family of this world. So it wouldn't be bad ideas, to having a position as the attorney general because it's very vast and he's learned silk, about the words of the law and advising the federal government up. But then he's been given education. Now, Dele Ake will mad a solid development, and this is a man, of course, we've seen Swat was governor in Lagos State as confirmation. He is a media specialist. I have interviewed him, and he's very vast in the field. In fact, his appointment as minister as a spokesperson, and he did that job very well. So I was thinking information or something like that, communication. But hey, he is the solid mineral. Now, when you want the president to assign, we will all join in as you very to be. The ministries Finance Minister of Economy, who's those of you who know here well, does he have a background in that? Do you think about what to carry on with announcement? Don't forget, very, very pivotal and very, very good. We saw how the last administration, in other administrations, where if you put a step down, it will cost a lot for the economy. Seriously, or not. It has a whole lot to do with fiscal policies, coordinating alongside the CBN with the monetary policy. So, Mr. Wale Edun has a very, 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 very big task ahead of him as the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy. Adegboyega Oyetola, the former Minister of, I think that should be Osun, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Osun State. He's a Minister of Transportation. David Umahi, the former Governor of Ebonyi, is the Minister of Works. Festus Keyamo, Aviation and Aerospace Development. Betta Edu, yes, she used to be the Commissioner of Health in Cross River State. She's now going to take over from where Sadia left off as the Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation Minister. The President also reserved Minister of Environment and Ecological Management for Kaduna State. Recall that former Kaduna State Governor Nasser El-Rufai and two other ministerial nominees were screened by the Senate but were not confirmed. A replacement is expected from Kaduna State following the withdrawal of the ex-governor. Okay, so just by way of looking through some of the lists, I don't know if I'll call everything, but let me start. Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy is Bosun Tijani. Minister of State, Environment and Ecological Management, Ishak Salako. Okay. Minister of Environment and Ecological Management is Ishak Salako. Don't take that for Minister. Okay. So what are we saying? And Ecological Management. I thought that was a reserve for Kaduna State. Anyways, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, we've said that already. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy. What does that mean? Marine, that's about the water, and Blue Economy. It's the IT, Blue China company and all of that, right? Bumi Tunjik's that portfolio. Minister of Power, Adedayo Adelabu. Minister of State Health and Social Wealth, Tunisia Alausa. Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake. Minister of Tourism is Lola Adejon. Minister of Transportation, Adegboyega Oyetola. Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment is Anite. Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Chain Naji. Minister of State Labor and Employment, Nkiruka Onyeka. Minister of Women Affairs is Uju Kennedy. Okay? Minister of Women Affairs is Uju Kennedy. For those of you who knows Drew Kennedy? I'd have to say about that. But your take, or tell us what you think about Uju suitable for that minute to speak. Right, let's move away from the Women Affairs to Minister of Works, Umahi. Minister of Aviation and Space, Festus Keyamo. Minister of Youth is Abubakar Mo. Minister of Humanitarian and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu. Minister of State Gas Resources is Ekperibe Ekpo. Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lokobiri. Okay. Then Minister of Sports Development, John Eno. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory is Nyuke. Minister of Arts, Culture and the Creative Economy is Hatu Musawa. Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru. Minister of State Defense is Bello Matawa. Minister of State Education, Yusuf Sunumu. Minister of Urban Development, Ahmed Ewa. Minister of State House and Urban Development, Abdullahi T. Gwarzo. Okay, housing and urban development, and then housing, urban development. Okay, that seems like a touchy, except if one is a senior minister and the other is a junior. Minister of Body Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu. Minister of State Federal Capital Territory, that's Mary Gamoud. Minister of State Water Resources and Sanitation, Bello M. Goroyo. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kiar. Minister of Education, Tahir Mamman. Minister of Saidu A. Al-Kali. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf M. Tugar. Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Ali Pate. Minister of Police Affairs, Ibrahim Gaidam. Minister of State Steel Development, Gary Amadu. Minister of Steel and Shuaibu A. Audu. Minister of Information and National Orient, Mohammed Idris. Attorney to the Federation and Minister of Justice, Latif Ami. Minister of Labour and Employment, Mombi Lalong. Minister of State Police Affairs, Man Suleiman Ibrahim. Minister of Social Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Zafnaya Gisalo. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Joseph. And Minister of State Agriculture and Food Security, Sabi Abdullahi. So certainly so far, that least. And I love what your take is, your reservation, your appreciation, your, criticism, active ones. And any other feelings you want to express about this particular ministerial list and the portfolios assigned. Okay, 0700 510000 and 080-999-30137. That's the WhatsApp handle. Don't forget, you can also dial 00-959-4869. Now, we are being live on our YouTube page, Nigeria Info 95.1. Facebook page too is Nigeria Info Abuja. Okay, please stream along with me. Leave your comments. We'll acknowledge you. We'll read your messages. And so much for always joining us 1 week live on air. So let's start the conversation this afternoon. Hello.
Swat.
Yes, good afternoon. You're welcome.
This is Philip calling from Abuja.
All right, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, the minister calling me. We want to know, because what is going on in all the administrators concerning our solid mineral, we know they understand. If you go Nasarawa.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. Please call me back. All right. Why are the line cutting? Hello.
Hello, my sister. Good afternoon.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, President Lady Machu.
Okay.
People was calling for national healing on the family, and again now, without the youth in this cabinet, we want national healing. There is no courage among them. On and over 61, 60, 70.
Oh, who told that? Who told you that? Obedient Moses, can you down?
Hello?
Stop saying things that are not true. Who think all of them are over 50?
I say most of them they are about 50, 60, 70.
Who told you that?
We are the youth, they are 30 years. The name of sports, youth and sports. How old is he?
How old is he?
Yes, I'm asking now. How old
No, how old is you? Are the one who is talking about the age. How old is he?
What I'm trying
You're trying to make a blanket statement. Hold on. Hello, Mr. Obsis, can you listen? Sometimes, please just calm down and listen.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have anyone you have reservation, I'll pick that up and let's know your sin based on facts. Stop making blanket so sure of that almost all my this and that. That's a blanket statement. There's no facts to this sort of waking.
Okay, my sister.
Yes.
Somebody is supposed to handle the youth and what they call it, youth and development. How old is he supposed to be?
How old do you think the person be in your own estimation?
From 30,
Okay.
not from 50, not from 60, not from 70. So that is, I think I'm going.
I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
So he is calling for national without the youth. That means we are not completed. The youth, anything you are doing without any youth is fraud.
Okay.
Not win and youth.
All right. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm welcome from Wawale.
All right. You're welcome.
We appreciate Mr. President for choosing men and women of character, of competence, some appreciate leadership skill in their field. Appreciate most of them. I know their records speak for them. That is why they are nominated, later endorsed, and now have been designated for their various folios. I only deal with the appointment, not on personal ground, not on partisanship. It is the nomination of mediation. He called legal luminary, human rights activist, before he joined politics, activity, and he demonstrated his ability in that. He's so distinguished. But before this time around, Swat, aviation sector have suffered from, has been plagued by corruption and a lot of problems. It has suffered a lot of setbacks. Our aviation sector is diminishing. So a core technocrat who understands the defeat, who can ally with aviation standards in global, will bring change that add value to that field, not just the voice. Because right from the Femi Fayode, who was aviation minister of Obasanjo, it was also...
we need to take this quick advert.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You're barely eating anything. What's wrong?
Trying to be careful.
Nothing breaking news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1. I'm Femi D. Amede. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day. The way is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and the stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and do it differently. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
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 That is in technology. In terms of security and the rest of them, now we're over to something soldiers 3 go. Why? Because we are still young power. In advanced countries, they don't do that at all. manpower. Then you came here and what is coming out and what is due. I think Nigerians should try and do something in terms of technology very much.
All right. Thank you so much in terms of technology. That's his concern. Hello?
I want to say good afternoon again.
Good afternoon.
It's honorable of Mike and in prayer to your email. So, you see what I say. Being the LCC minister is a lawyer by profession. And I believe that if a person like Wike, Minister of the Attorney General or Minister of Justice, will allow you work there. Even this like they give to the governor of Zamfara, that I want the Minister of Defense. This is a man. He's the security of his state. The bandits are killing him, doing one or two things there. And what did he do? Instead of to command the security against the criminals, and he was going on negotiation. If he cannot handle his state, a particular state, talk of 36 states, that is why. And they look at somebody, Kiyamo. Now, what does Kiyamo know about that very portfolio given? They don't know anything. He's not his profession. And they will know that, yes, he did right. It's this former governor of Abuja, David Omai. You know, he's a civil engineer. And then you went to Abakaliki, Swat. I believe no you journalism. When you go there evening time, you will not be there. Be Abakaliki there in the point. It's bigger than Abuja here. What that man here? Look at that market. Look at it. You know the place. So, one, it's okay. But the minute of youth, you matter if you don't need the prophet to advise to you that that's the one who's supposed to hear. Is that one youth? What are we talking? Okay, now there is no minister of Niger. Okay, no minister of Niger. They want a service. Then that money, that 40 billion, 50 billion, in the day and which there was in a patio. Don't you know that that one that is a cover up? Where you say, talk, let me talk. They say off mic.
All right.
Things that they have tell us about money.
Thank you.
So if you look, that is what he said when they traveled to Enugu. He said that you people are rich with your money. This is the time of planting.
Okay.
When you plant,
Ms. Moti, you've talked. A lot of people are waiting, but you can't say everything. Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Okay. This is Ulonna Mefe from Umuahia.
Okay.
Ulonna Mefe.
Okay. Ulonna.
Yes, so my own is that yes, in as much as for quite some of us, our eyes are still on the judiciary. But so far, I think it would also be nice to state that Tinubu would also be commended, at least for giving the FCT indigenous a slot. It's highly commendable. Then again, also for the FCT minister I'm not a fan. To directive or to have that maybe good
Thank you. Hello. Good afternoon.
good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Okay, this is Ed coming from Green.
Welcome.
Please, ma, that is a Jew. Is it that attend us on that day of primary?
How do you mean? Oh, sorry. Call me. Oh, I don't know what you mean. Entertain you on APC primaries. Hello. Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I remember Humble Self of Bakar Ali. I'm calling from PW Kubwa.
Okay.
Well, as I've said the other time, there's absolutely no you really appointment of more than 48 people. I say you have 5 people, and you're impressed with all. It's not possible. So definitely wow you. Some will know you. So let me start. There are a lot that. It is a very, very wonderful appointment. Let me start with the Minister of Health. Of course, Professor Ali Pate, he was Minister for State for Health. He's a renowned professional in this area. So I think it's a square peg in a square hole. Wale Edun, they call it the angel room of the administration, the Minister of Finance. My goodness, oh my goodness, it's no introduction. What are the fantabulous Minister and Minister of Justice? You can see how it was during its ministerial screening. I hope all those human rights, disobedience of court order, will stand by the law, not by the government. I hope it will bring an experience to bear in that realm. And the other one, the one that wow me is the Minister of FCT. I know everybody received that with a shocker. I hope Barrister Yuson Wike will come and surpass expectation that we have. In fact, it should come and compete with Air, but not in the area of demolition. We don't want demolition, I beg.
But is it to develop FCT without demolition? You know it's not possible now.
The demolition, maybe that kind of demolition, now we go touch everybody compound. Maybe that one, I beg. Yes. Of course, before they will come and say my house day for railway track, they will just come out. So I hope it will pass the expectation. Look at humanitarian affairs, better edu.
Yeah.
Yes. I have high hopes on too. Which one again? You know, say there plenty.
Hello. Okay. Thank you so much, Tinubu King. You know, Better Edu, she used to be the kind of, what do you call it? Health in Cross River. And I remember during the COVID where they made history alongside Kogi, there wasn't any infection and all of that. I interviewed her one time on this platform, called her and asked them what they were, the giant strides they're making in stuff like that. Yeah, she's into politics. I was really hopeful that maybe she will be in the health sector or something. But hey, she has equally other skills and expertise. So which may most probably suit her. Okay, guys, on social media, I can see you, Damian Donatus. You said, hi, Swat. Smith. Daniel said, always a pleasure to see Dr. Life. I'm not a doctor. Please, Dr. Swat before that. So where and when? I have not yet bagged my doctor. I will, hopefully. Haruna said, good afternoon, Barrister Swat. Thank you so much, Yakubu Haruna. David Phil said, good afternoon, Madam Swat. And I say, good afternoon. Chico Zie say, good day, Dr. Swat. Good to see your face. Hey, God. So you guys are dashing me, doctor, and I say an amen to that. All right, so those are the guys on our YouTube. Please keep the comments coming. I appreciate all. Let me come to face and acknowledge you guys. Thank you so much. Patience, Ojo Chenemi, Kanati Swad. Good job. Thank you so much, Patience. Noah Izzy said he's watching us live from Ado, Nasarawa State. I have reservation on Du, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management. The N program has not paid N-Power beneficiaries 8 months stipends. Unfortunately, I don't know if this action has anything to do with N-Power and where you need to take your concerns to. Okay, no, easy. You may have to know from within your circles to know. Thank you for commenting. Next, Dan Jombu, watching you for the first time. Keep it up from 11 Gariki. Thank you so much, Manex. Appreciate you taking your time to write in. Other people, John Ali Hena said, Swat, you're doing well. Thank you, John Ali. Mustafa Aminu said, hi, Swat, Adis Tinubu Peking. All right, thank you. I'm sure this thing to you and the comments you left. Please keep the comments coming. We appreciate you all for, using your hard-earned day to call in and contribute. All right, so let's come back to phone line. Hello.
Hello, Barrister Swat.
Yes.
I was hearing you, but you are not hearing me. I remember
Okay.
But the other area, Barrister Swat, there are specialized, you need people with expertise in this field. And I did not see them there. Like aviation. Festus Kiamo will do good, but aviation, you have given it to somebody with aviation. And defense. Even Badaru was an executive governor for 8 years. He chaired state executive council and security meeting in the state. I would have had somebody with security background. You understand? Like a police officer or retired military officer or retired DSS. They would have done better. But that minister for defense, they cannot talk to the house. Because if I talk them, honestly, if I drop this call, they will come to my house. The one that shocked me, is Dele Alake. I was thinking he will get some information.
Exactly.
Even you, I know you thought of that. Exactly. Because it's a consultant on communication strategy, right?
Yes.
So it's not literally new environment. Hope you will excel there as well. And do you know it is a medical doctor that was given Minister for State for Education? He's a medical doctor, far. So let me not overcast it. But however, the multi ministry that have bearing on our day, all of them are important, but they are more important than others. I think you're right. Look at works. Even if you don't like his face, he's a seasoned engineer and his work. Those that have gone to Ebonyi with Dave Umai, very, very fantastic. Look at Foreign Affairs. He's ambassador for 8 years. So it's a seasoned diploma. He understands his own, and I hope you that experience to be on foreign this time. And if his first work will be how to negotiate Niger military impasse. So let him prove himself there. And which one again? Barrister, so don't tell me minute, no shock you. 62 years. Honestly, I think the National Assembly will look into this. Anybody that will be youth or Minister of Sport. Hello, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Anybody that will be given Minister of Youth. For youth, it should not be more than 30 years or maximum 40. For Minister of Sport, 45 years. From 35 to 40. Youth, 35 to 40. Minute, 35 to 45. The people who are active, who have sport experience and how are you going to give 60 Haba? No, honestly, that one, honestly, we are not happy. But we wish them all the best. Have time for honeymoon. I hope that will give them like 6 to 8 months. Body that perform, if there's reshufflement, they should reshuffle them. Those that need to go home. The Minister for State for Petroleum. I saw it coming. You know, he was a Minister for State for Agric in the first tenure. I was thinking they will give him another, but a wonderful one. I hope he will serve this time too. And the one reserved for himself. Honestly, we stop this character and the idea of president holding Ministry of Petroleum. There are 1,001 Nigerians that can hold that portfolio very, very well.
I wonder why they keep doing that. I wonder.
It's not fair because all those held that position, they have not made petroleum industry to grow. They have refinery to function. Why held it for 8 years? Did we stop subsidy? Did our refinery start function? So, and I don't think it will be different in Ibu. So please, Mr. President, please give it to capable. Okay. You know them. You have worked there before. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. God bless us. God bless our country. God bless our state. Mr. President, consider Kaduna position in Kaduna because the speaker is from Kaduna, the governor is from Kaduna Central, Kaduna State a representation. Swat Dunia Osalasi. Please, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. My God. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Let me see if I can read the WhatsApp messages now so that we will have people commenting on that too. Right? Starting from the ones I can earlier on, Austin from Jiwase, Nigeria. Nigeria is not funny anymore. I will japa very soon. All the best though. Good afternoon, Swat. My excitement, Wike, FCT, Wale Advance, Better Edu Humanitarian, Tijani, Digital CEO, Shaka is Dele Alake, and my disappointment, Badaru, Defense Hour. Thanks, Lola Karu. Very banking what Wike sound. I would prefer that FC pushing one team, why it has with whole history, even if Wike Alake going to the mirror, as for Timbo. Okay. The fellow telling the inbound which is 2% of FCT. That is why I still make good call from Bay River and all compliment. This one in left you review. Catch from every case as betting is takes us away from this man government with area work. Okay. Make my deeper from Abuja take it up to I hope he bring Danny to Abuja and right road yes also for his briefings and now his backup life and hey are you sure he's going to replicate that in the FCT? I doubt. Okay, good afternoon, barristers. Wike will do well as FCT minister. Should quickly relocate the villages, leaving the city center where criminals, drug addicts, and alleges of easy virtues hide prey from. Gerald Inutak, thank you. Israel said, good afternoon once again. Tinubu's appointment of Abadaru as Minister of Defense is a blunder. This ministry has more responsibility than just proposing annual budgets and soldiers' salary. Tinubu should know in this precarious state of security, Nigerians cannot afford to do trial and error of Mu Adamu and Ralph Aregbesh of Ministries of Education, Interior, respectively, who said nothing about the roles they were called to. What does the former Jigawa know about security to be appointed as defense? Again, I hope Noyorima will not push through his proposal for terrorists using his successor, Matawale. On the Niger democracy by definition and principle ought to be people's preferred system of government. If, however, the people of Niger have chosen military over and the ECOWAS leadership should rather examine themselves and to think of imposing their own government on the bomb. Okay, that's a long one. Try and shorten your messages. Long messages are just not appealing to read. So just make it very short and straight to the point. Hey, Barrister Swat, please, who is Minister of Health and Petroleum? Congratulations to all of them. And please, they should go to work and start partying because Nigeria, a peak of economic and security melt, says Sam. Okay, thank you, Sam, for that. You're asking who Minister of Health is. Let me check through that again. Who is Minister of Health now? Minister of Health and Social Welfare is Tunisia. That's Minister of State Health and Welfare is Tunisia Allah. That's for Minister of Health, right? Minister of State Health and Social Welfare. I don't know who the senior of health is, but you can check through that. I'm sure you see. Just Google that and you find out. And, at the state level, though, or the state is the Tunisia. Okay. Let's move on to more messages on WhatsApp. We have so many of them before we'll come back to on the phone call. And also we have our YouTube live and Facebook live. Thank you for joining all the time and the messages you're dropping. I really appreciate it. So good afternoon once again. I really salute you, my sister. We should be sincere with vision. Please, we expect them to deliver, says Oludadu. Sorry. Okay. Thank you much. Then this one, Betty is in her 30s, Bosun in his 40s, Shuaiba in his 40s, Iman in her 40s. Being a lawyer doesn't mean one action in another field. Indeed, that's why I was surprised when this guy was, what's his name, Obedient Emmanuel, something that was saying all of them. I'm like, are you as better I do is a young lady. She's young by our standards. I know of also Shuaiba, I'll do, so talking about Bosun also in his 40s and the likes of them. Yeah. Not too old, within at least reasonable age and not be considered old. So before you just want to say he's old, maybe even of youths is question. I mean, how can somebody of that age be there? You have more appropriate portfolios. But when you say youth, the first point of call should be someone that is quite youthful. So there are quite a lot of them that are youthful in Tinubu's cabinet. And he promised to be involved. So we expect more youthful personnel come up on board and also in portfolios. But hey, this has been made and we run one pending when there is a shuffling, probably replacement here and there. Henry from Chukuku said the ministers should be well follow up, scrutinized, audit, checkmated by the president and tasked to be sure of a job well done. Could the president for his proper appointment, Comrade Henry. Thank you much. Good afternoon. My problem is of defense, the former governor of the state. Honestly, I'm not happy and comfortable with that office given to him. I pray he is to be a change. James from Area 10. Okay. Professor Swat, I hear you. All right. Hello, Swat. Ali Pate's assigned portfolio as coordinating minister of health and welfare. Okay. Yeah. So that's the minister. Yeah. As very much expected, Wike's portfolio was a pleasant surprise. He is the type of person currently need in the FCT after years of nothingness. With his track record in his state, Almighty God grants him the wisdom and to turn our fortunes around in the FC. Abuja residents have suffered enough. My disappointment. She said the door assigned to the defense portfolio. The state of insecurity, which Matewale Zamfara has to write home about, last still trying to understand why Dele Alake was assigned to the solid mineral portfolio. Hadiza, that's your own assessment. I agree with you with the Matewale. Honestly, I don't know. Are you sure the president will not reconsider that? I mean, one of the most, by every standard, okay, one of the most insecure places in the country right now. Apart from all the attacks I have here and there, for her case is something else. And we've seen governors in and out, and none of them has been able to do anything impressive. And then you carry someone and you give him, seriously, I think they should think. That's a big one, honestly. So, let's say maybe the constable will reconsider. I mean, after all, he gave her Mariam Shah, and then she came and she was turned around. That moment for me I felt bad. I felt very bad. Why now? Mr. President, what did she do? She should be back. True. Wike FCT minister, I'm glad to... Okay. Your own perspective is something else I don't understand. Anyway, you're glad that he's holding nation. Abuja edition 1989 is failing greatly. Meaning what? I don't know. Good afternoon, Auntie Swat. Johnny from Lugbe, enjoying your show. Abubakar from Kuwa is on point. I like his energy. I'm just enjoying my half. Thank you. Oh, nice. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Jacob Ode Madala said the performance of Dave Umahi in Ebonyi State came out for works, and I'm sure he's going to excellently well, including Wike in the tea. It seems a lot of excitement of Wike is in the air. Yesterday, honestly, how people were just, tweeting and just putting that up on their state. So, well, I hope our optimism is not going to be crashed, But Patrick said on ministerial portfolio, I congratulate for his political sagacity. First governor who laid a strategic foundation, demolition of PDP in the 2022 presidential election through the tactical kinetic operation of the G5 PDP government in their respective states to ensure victory. Today, Wike asked just the FCC minister from Rivers State, immediately shutting out the likes of Rotimi Amich of the APC politics in Rivers. Also, the new FCT minister, they pen them now, so it is sweet us. Relevance of individual professional with portfolio of ministers, most times and administratively so, it is neither here nor there because as scratch, which many of them are, what it is for them to be able to investigate and identify skillful professionals in the system.
A place where you can get it all. And
dropping on their vehicle and running, leaving their vehicle.
a place where you air your views.
I want to for the situation.
Only on your
Hello, my name is Kimberly Nwachukwu, the host of Hard Facts, and I bring the best stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get opinion and conjectures, but the facts you can